What's up, my LTC? Scorpion72. Today we're taking a look at Batman the Animated Series, Ventriloquist, and Scarface. So, these two duo Batman villains come to us in a blister card packaging. It's figure number 32 in this line. The back is just a silhouette of Batman, so that's why I don't really show it anymore. So, without further ado, let's open up the package and see what these figures are all about. Alright, here we have Ventriloquist out of the packaging. So, for his appearance, he looks like an ordinary man, like in a suit, like a bookworm or somebody who works in the library, so that. Nevertheless, it's a guy in a suit. We want Bruce Wayne, Lucius Fox. Give us a gangster pack, you know, Rupert Thorne, all those guys. Give us these guys. We need those other bad guys too, not just the colorful villains, DC Collectibles. Nevertheless, now the sculpting of him is really well done. The only thing right off the bat I'm going to say is that they gave him eyes here behind the glasses, and they put the pegs in, but they glued the glasses, which is too bad because it would be nice to have the option to lift the glasses and move the glasses on or off. If you look close enough, you can see his weedy, beady little eyes behind the glasses. Pretty cool. I'm just glad it did sculpt. So, his head's on a ball joint, or I should say his neck, because he doesn't really have a head to articulation. It's all in the neck. It's left to right and everything like that. As I mentioned, the glasses don't move. Arms can go outwards, inwards, forwards. Single joint in the elbow, the swivel. It's very, very loose, I have to say. Like, mine's very, very loose, both of them. Which is weird because he's a new figure and I expect to be the opposite, which is a little bit more stiff, but he's very, very loose there. This is a really kind of hard plastic sculpt, which I don't understand. He has waist swivel and it's hard to get his legs forward, and when you do that it kind of gives a little white mark here, which means I'm bending and extending the plastic more than it's supposed to be. Same thing when I do the splits. So his articulation here below the waist is very limited. Single joint in the knee, and he has swivel in the ankle, but no ankle rocker. So of course Ventriloquist, hence the name, has to come with a dummy, and he does. And his dummy's name is Scarface. I already put the little Tommy gun in here, so Scarface has a real working Tommy gun. And his head also kind of like on a let Tommy gun fall. It's on a semi-ball joint, but it doesn't really have much articulation to it. It doesn't really move too much. It's too bad they didn't have the jaw working, because the way they put the lines there, it would have been nice to have the jaw at least articulated a bit. Of course, he has a big scar. He has the hat, which I don't mind being stuck on. Arms can go outwards. Go forwards, there's no elbow articulation, swivel at the hands, and his legs are very, very wobbly like a dummy. So, you know, you can go like this and that. On the back here, his jacket here, which if I like compare, unlike the Ventriloquist there, whose real name escapes me for the moment. His jacket here is very soft, pliable plastic with a hole here to put his hand in, which I'm going to demonstrate to you shortly. He does come with 4 hands. He comes with this kind of like, I don't know what to call it, open kind of like, I don't even know what to call it, just open hands we'll call them. And then he has these gripping hands, or like, you know, gun holding hands and trigger hands, because I think you can actually put this like this, because at one point in the episode he does actually use the Tommy gun. So see, Tommy gun can kind of fit in there too. So, Tommy gun can fit right in there, or fit his hand. He can hold the Tommy gun. Now you can hold the Tommy gun. So Ventriloquist, in order to do the whole putting the dummy on his hand thing, you get the sheet here that shows you how to change the hands, and to do that, so I'm just going to take another quick look at, because I want to make sure I get it right and not break it. So first of all, you have this stand, which I love, turnaround stand. Shows you all the angles of him. And yep, there's no extra names on here. I already assembled the plastic part there to hold them, and they have this long part sticking out. And then here you have how to change the hands of the other figures in the line. Basically Harvey Bullock, Talia al Ghul, Joker, and Ventriloquist. So it's saying it's supposed to go into his right hand. Now here's the thing. In the diagram, sorry, in the display, on the sheet, it shows this part coming out of the dummy longer. Like the little peg that's supposed to go in his hand. It's a lot longer than what we have here. So that might be problematic. Let's find out. So it seems that you have to kind of spread the jacket out open a bit while you're trying to get the hand in. And yeah, it's really short. Like it's like somebody cut it just a tad too short than it should be, because short of ripping the jacket open a little bit more, it's hard to get in. So let's give it a try. Alright, so here we have him with his hand in the back and holding the dummy. You really have to push through the back here of the jacket or the vest of the dummy to really get it in there. So it holds okay as long as you have it against his chest, but you really have to push in there. That little piece should have been longer, so I don't know, they cut it just a tad bit too short, but it still works. You just have to really not ram in there, but push it in there. And I think the jacket acts as something as a grip to hold.
As you can see, these two really do come across as a great pair, as they should, because one can't go without the other. Just wish the peg was a little bit longer in the back of Scarface.
As you can see here, it's not too bad, and it actually holds. My only thing is that, okay, see? That thing, one little touch and it falls off. So it holds as long as you don't touch it, but maybe not pushing in far enough. But as I mentioned early in my video, that his arms and stuff is really like loose. But yeah, it's really difficult now when you think about it. I'm trying to get it in there. So it's a hard thing to do. A bit, like they did really cut that peg a tiny bit too small. Nevertheless, he still is one of Batman's, one of Batman's semi-main villains, and definitely part of the line, and it would be cool to add to him if you're a fan of Ventriloquist. I know he's a 50-50 character for me. I mentioned that with some of the other ones, like, you know, depending, some of them resonate with me well and some don't, and he's just like 50-50. I do like the episodes that you're in.
Still really like and enjoy that we got this character in the line. He's not my favorite, so he'd probably be in the back of my display, but nevertheless, I am glad to have him in my collection.
So he should be available on online retailers, on comic book shops, and those that carry the line. This is Scorpion72 review of Ventriloquist and Scarface. Telling you to enjoy your toys, and until next time, keep playing. Ciao.
1, 2, 3, 4. I like videos, you like videos. I love toys and you love toys.